Alright, I'm about to defend some meta players, so here we go. Hey, what's up guys? It's your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, Ben 10,000 YuGiOh, and today's topic is gonna be a little different. I know you're about to get a whole nother discussion video, your guys' favorite thing ever. Today's video topic is going to be interesting. This was inspired by Paul from Team APS. He showed a comment from one of his videos that was talking about how there's no... The commenter was saying that there's no creativity in the competitive area. Like he's saying that competitive players just aren't creative, and for the most part, I would normally agree with that statement, but alas, in the idea of truth, I cannot completely agree, because there is a thing that I have noticed over the years of you playing Yu-Gi-Oh! That you have to give people... One of the things is you have to give credit where it's due. And one of those things is, when it comes to creativity in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, this person had a point that I agree with, but he also made a very valid point overall that I can't agree with, and that is that competitive players don't have a level of creativity. And the truth is, they do. And here's my argument, right? Konami creates all of these different archetypes, these decks they want us to play. Heroes, Lightsworn, Necros, if we go to current day, Goki, these decks were created, for us to play. Konami wants us to play these decks, but what the decks that Konami doesn't want us to play, to be frank, are the decks that we create ourselves. And there have been quite a few of those that have made it to competitive play in the past. Teledad, Dino Rabbit, Hat, heck, even Dragon Rulers, manner of speaking. It was all over the internet. It was fairly common knowledge, because I played Dragon Ruler, so I can tell you that Konami really didn't plan or intend for us as the player base to play with the Dragon Rulers as a deck by themselves. What Konami planned us to do with them was play them in attribute-based decks. They wanted to see Tidal in Mermails, Tempest in Dragunities, Blaster in, like, I don't know, Flambells, Volcanics, Redox in, rock-based decks. That is in essence, that is how Konami planned those archetypes to work, but they also planned them to work with dragons. They wanted to see you put them in things like Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Hieratics, etc. And the thing is that, so that's why the Dragon Rulers were created the way they were. But us being the Yu-Gi-Oh player base, we took that and said, why would I bother putting them in the attribute-based decks when I could just put them together and abuse all of the dragon cards out there? And we did, to be frank, we did. But if you look at there are other examples that are even better examples than the Dragon Rulers. If you look at Dino Rabbit and Hat, these are even better examples of this, because these were super powerful decks that we, the player base, created these decks. These weren't intended for us to play, you know what I mean? Konami didn't intend for us to build these decks the way they were built. We came up with that. We looked at these cards and goes, there's some synergy here. Let's mash that together. Like, think about it, and the truth is, that's why Konami, they limit, these. The truth is, if you look at the way the ban list is always structured, Konami always hits the decks that we create harder than they ever will hit the decks that they create. Think about it. How many times did they have to hit Necros before they finally killed it? Hell, think about it. Look at Teledad. It's still crippled. I mean, think about it. E-Telly's at 1. Dark Arm Dragon's still at 1. It's still crippled. I mean, the truth is, Konami, they just looked at that, were like, hell no,
'Hell no, 'Hell no, motherfuckers! 'Hell no, 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 'Hell
get the idea. They were like, no! Bang! We're not having none of your crap, Yu-Gi-Oh players. And think about it, we just recently got Stratos unbanned. Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami doesn't want us to play this shit. The truth is, when we create a deck, they kill that shit. And they have more than one way to do it too, like power creep. Look at Hat. That's what happened to Hat. It got power crept. I mean, they hit it a little bit, true, but the truth is, I mean, I think they could put Moral Tech to 3, and I don't think it would do a damn thing. I mean, the hands have been power crept all to hell. Let's just be honest here. Now, do I think that those cards can still be quite viable? Of course, I don't think. I think that any strategy can be viable, assuming you give it the right support. Whether that means you have to think outside the box to do it, but just remember, that is the caveat to thinking outside the box. Konami is probably going to look at that and look at that as a... Think about it. That's kind of the reason why you probably don't see a lot of competitive players try to create decks very much, because the truth is, every time the competitive player base gets together and creates a new deck, like Hat, like Dino Rabbit, like Teledad, what does Konami do? They destroy it. They look at that as an affront. Like, no, you jerk. You don't play Evolzars in this weird rabbit deck. You play them in the Evol deck like I intended you to. You know what I mean? That's how Konami looks at it. And, you know, the truth is, we, the player base, we don't play that way. I mean, you can even look at Danger Dark World as another example of this. I'm sure Konami intended us to play them Danger deck, right? And the Dark World deck, but they probably didn't plan on really us playing them together. But yeah, there we are, nonetheless. Look at the Dark Warrior deck. I mean, realistically, it's not even a Goki deck anymore. It's just a Warrior deck with, like, the last list I saw had, like, it played Goki Rematch and, like, 3 Goki monsters in the main deck. Come on, guys. Is that really a Goki deck? I don't think so. And the rest of it was just Dark Warriors that you could special summon. Malicious, Armageddon Knight, Dark Grepher. I mean, the list goes on. There's still plenty more. But the point that I'm trying to make is it's not completely true that competitive players don't have a level of creativity. It's true that they are creative in their own way. Now, this is the part where I did agree with this person. Do I think that a single tech card makes your competitive deck more creative than the normal? Not really. I think, does it give you an edge? Absolutely. It absolutely can. Your tech cards can absolutely give you an edge. I will always agree with that, if they're the right kind of tech cards for the format. But the other thing that is that a tech card doesn't necessarily make your deck that much creative. If I put Forbidden Chalice, for example, in a Sky Striker deck, I'm still playing a Sky Striker deck, and all the fluidity and functionality and consistency that comes with that. I've just thrown in this one random spell card that just kind of makes me allowed to do something that maybe the normal Sky Striker deck can't. It's just an example. It's probably not a good example, but you get the idea. It's another spell card to add to the list. Anyway, guys, I know that the last video was me kind of, talking about how I thought about competitive players as being a bit more toxic, but I felt that Team APS had a point that, you have to it's always been my philosophy in life that you have to give credit where it's due. It makes your point of view more viable, in my opinion, if you give the credit where it's due. You admit when somebody you may not necessarily agree with is correct, because to prove your point. You know what I mean? So it's just a personal opinion on that front. You are more than welcome to disagree with me. In fact, if there's any decks that are competitive, that are player-based created, please leave those in the comments below. I'm curious to see which ones that I missed. And if any of the decks that I mentioned you don't think are player-based created, well then by all means, feel free to prove me wrong in the comments. Just the rules of my channel are very simple. Just keep it civil and all will be well. A variety of opinions are welcome here. Like I said, just keep it civil. Before we get out of here, I do want to remind you guys, I'm still in a race with YuGiOh Pro. I haven't heard anything from Cinderwig lately, so I don't know if he's still in it. I think he might be dropping out, or he's busy. But I do know Yusei and I are still in it, and I am catching up. I'm gaining on Yusei. I'm at 270. He's at like 320 something last I checked. So I am gaining on his tail feathers, guys. So if you want to help me win this race to 500 subscribers, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on this video. I swear I speak English sometimes, guys. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Let me know if you like these discussions too while we're at it. And I will see you guys next time. Peace!